Clauses. A clause is a group of words which makes complete sense and has a subject and predicate and at least one verb. An independent clause is a simple sentence. It can stand on its own. For example, she is hungry. I am feeling well today. Because he laughed at her. These words may be followed by other words as well to form a sentence, but if only left alone, it still does make sense. It still has meaning. And it has a subject and a predicate, and it has one verb at least. In all these sentences, you have one verb at least, minimum. There are two main kinds of clauses: main or independent clause and subordinate clause. Main or independent clause. A main clause or an independent clause is a simple sentence. It can stand on its own. In a sentence, two independent clauses can be connected by the coordinators and, but, so, or, nor, for, yet. For example, he is a wise man. Now, not necessary that a group of words may be connected to this sentence for it to make sense. He is a wise man by itself makes sense. You are just telling that this person is a wise man. It makes complete sense. I'll be home tomorrow. Again, in this sentence, you are informing, you are telling. So it makes sense. It makes complete sense. You are informing that you will be home tomorrow. So, I'll be home tomorrow is an independent clause, and also it can stand on its own. The third example, I want to buy a phone, but I don't have enough money. Now, in this sentence, I want to buy a phone. By itself makes sense. It has some meaning. I don't have enough money also has meaning of its own if it was a separate sentence. But when these two sentences are together, joined by the word but, the coordinator but, they are two independent clauses because individually they do make sense. So you may have one independent clause or you may have two independent clauses with a coordinator connecting it. Subordinate clause. Subordinate clause does not stand by itself but depends on the main clause to give a complete meaning. For example, the first sentence, the mice will play when the cat is away. Now in this sentence, the main clause is the mice will play. It makes complete sense. When the cat is away. When the cat is away, what? What will happen when the cat is away? The mice will play when the cat is away. So the subordinate clause is when the cat is away, because it is depending on the main clause, the mice will play. So that is why when the cat is away is the subordinate clause, because it is depending on the main clause. Although she tried, she could not succeed. Now, as in the previous example, the subordinate clause was towards the end. But over here in this example, the subordinate clause is ahead. Although she tried, she could not succeed. She could not succeed is a main verb, because by itself it can stand on its own. She could not succeed. It makes sense. Although she tried, what did she try? She must have tried something. You have a context. In the subordinate clause, not necessary you may have a context, because it is depending on the main clause. So that is why in this example, although she tried is the subordinate clause or the dependent clause, because it is depending on the main clause, she could not succeed. You may have a subordinate clause in the end of the towards the end of the sentence or in the beginning. It all depends on what is the main clause. Because as studied before, as explained before, main clause can stand on its own and it makes complete sense, whereas dependent clause depends on the main clause to give a complete meaning. There are three kinds of subordinate clause: noun clause, adjective clause, and adverbial clause. Noun clause. The noun clause does the work of a noun. You ask the question what to the main clause to get an answer in the subordinate clause. In the sentence, you have subordinators like that, what, whatever, how, etc. These subordinators are used in the sentence. For example, it is a fact that he is lazy. Now in this sentence, it is a fact is your main clause. That he is lazy is your subordinate noun clause. Firstly, you have the word that as a subordinator. And second, lazy is a noun. It's an abstract noun. For example, the first sentence, it is a fact that he is lazy. In this sentence, your main clause is it is a fact. It makes complete sense. That he is lazy is your subordinate clause because you have the subordinator that, and you're asking the question, what is the fact? The fact that he is lazy is your answer. So that makes it the subordinate clause. When you ask the question to the main clause, you ask a question what to the main clause, you get your answer as the subordinate noun clause. Second example, that he is lazy is a fact. Now in this sentence, is a fact. It is, something is a fact, right? So that is your main clause. Now that in bracket is just written for reference when you're pointing out to something, when you're telling something. Otherwise, the words that are there in the sentence, those same words need to be divided into main clause and subordinate clause. So your subordinate clause is that he is lazy. You may have main clause before and subordinate afterwards, or you may have subordinate before and main clause afterwards. It all depends on finding out the main clause that can stand on its own and has its meaning by itself. It doesn't have to depend on anyone like the dependent clause. So that he is lazy is a subordinate noun clause because you are asking the question to the main clause. What is the fact? That he is lazy. Irrespective of whether the main clause is before or afterwards, while writing, you will first write the main clause and then you will write the subordinate clause. Adjective clause. The adjective clause does the work of an adjective. There will always be a noun or a pronoun in the main clause. There will be subordinators like who, whom, which, that. For example, this is the library that belongs to my uncle. Now in this sentence, this is the library is your main clause. That belongs to my uncle, subordinate adjective clause. Now there is a difference in subordinate noun clause and subordinate adjective clause because you have a common subordinator in both, in noun and an adjective. The difference in subordinate adjective clause is that there will always be a noun or a pronoun in the main clause. Now the noun in this main clause is library. So the subordinate adjective clause will be that belongs to my uncle. Understand the difference in subordinate noun clause and subordinate adjective clause with respect to the subordinator that. If you go to ask the question, your question will be framed as who does this library belong to? In a noun clause, you don't ask the question who, you ask the question what. You cannot ask what is this library belong to? No. In a noun clause, you ask the question what. That's when you get your answer as subordinate noun clause. Whereas in subordinate adjective clause, you have a noun or a pronoun before the subordinate clause. So in this sentence, you have this is the library as your main clause, That belongs to my uncle as your subordinate adjective clause. Understand the difference between noun clause and adjective, subordinate noun clause and subordinate adjective clause. Second example, where is the book which she left for me? In this sentence, where is the book is your main clause. Which she left for me is the subordinate adjective clause. Why? Because you have the subordinator which and you have the noun book. So where is the book is your main clause and which she left for me is your subordinate adjective clause. Third example, give me some water which I may drink. Now in this sentence, your main clause is give me some water. Wherever the noun ends, that is your main clause. Which I may drink is your subordinate adjective clause. Firstly, because there's a noun in the main clause, water, and secondly, you have the subordinator which. So which I may drink is your subordinate adjective clause.